Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hello. How are things in Long Island today? Hi, Jill. I got Pandy here with me, looking for attention. Hi, Erin. How are you? Hi, Kat. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope everybody's having a good day. The moment I decided to go on live is when Pandy woke up from her nap and is now being very pushy. Hi, Narina. How are you? Hi, Light. Hi, Tara. Hi, Renata. Hi, Jose. How are you? Hi, La Bonita. How are you? You made roasted chicken and mashed potatoes and zucchini for dinner. That sounds amazing, Jill. Sounds good to me. I haven't even thought about dinner yet. I'm good, Jose. It's been a very, very busy day. It's been a very busy weekend. Oh, I had such a nice time with my niece, Kat. Very busy, but we had a really nice time. And we got to see my mom as well. Hi, Kalsani. How are you? Hi, Nozomi. And we had a lovely time together. Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo today. 5/5. Can you believe like May 5th already? My goodness. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Dana. Dana, Pandy's being as pushy as ever today. Hi, Anu. Oh my goodness, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm curious what the vibe is where you are. Hi. I hope everybody's doing well. There's been like weird glitches in the air today. How many of you are having technological glitches? Yeah, she's very pushy, Dana, very pushy. It's been a day of like kind of rainy, weird weather. And then somebody messaged me and said, like, are you having glitches today? And I was like, no. And then I got into a session and the signal kept dropping like the whole time. And so it's not anybody's fault. It's just the signal. Like, who knows? Oh, your new subscriber. Thank you, Tanu. I really appreciate it. I know Pandy's being very, very sweet. I'm frozen right now, Tracy. Uh-oh. Hopefully not. Hi, Dev. How are you? Hi, Pablo. Hi, Aditya. How are you? So yeah, there's a lot of glitches. Like it almost feels like Mercury retrograde, but it's not Mercury retrograde. And somebody sent me, hi Dwayne, how are you? Hi Jennifer. Somebody sent me an explanation of kind of what's going on astrologically, and it would be described as like the Mercury in Aries, the go, 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 trying to like push the energy a little bit, you know, very fiery. And of course, I guess we're kind of still technically like in that last little bit of shadow period from Mercury retrograde, you know? Hi, Tamara. How are you? Yeah, Pandy is being absolutely just pushy, pushy, pushy today. Oh, Dev, my DMs are closed, so I don't get any messages. I didn't get any messages from you. Hi, Stella. You woke up really early? Oh, you're so sweet. You're in the Philippines. Thank you for being here. No, I don't perform spells. I'm not a believer, and I'm a believer in manifestation, but spells, that's not my thing. Hi, Keziah. How are you? It feels like that for you too, Dana? Crazy. Thank you. I'm good. I've been really, really busy. This weekend I was with my niece and we went out for lunch with my mom. We had some good food. Oh, Dev, that's very kind of you, but you know, I'm not available. So as much as I appreciate the sentiment, you know, I'd like to keep it professional. Hi, Amy Marie. How are you? Bonjour, Druzy. Ça va bien? It's been a while. What's new, Drew? How's April? Hi, Pauline. Hi, Rose. Hi, Pink. Hi, Product. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that your proposal was well received. Good, good, good. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Hi, Steph. How are you? Same old, same old. Work has been crazy. I feel ya. I feel ya. It's been a very busy time, hasn't it? I'm good. I'm good. All right, tell me, everybody, what's your word of the day? What's the vibe today? I'm glad you're here, Steph. You're ready for summer vacation? It doesn't feel like summer at all. Not where I live. Hi, Emlyn. How are you? What's next? Well, we're gonna do a general collective reading. We're gonna get some vibes. You feel queasy today, Kathy. You know, I think there's some solar flares right now too. Content? Good, Veronica. I'm glad to hear that. Debbie, you feel cold? Hi, Jack. Thank you, lovely lady. I appreciate it. Thankful, Dana? Good, I'm glad. TTP. Yeah, exhausted. Mm-hmm. Hi, Suzette. Suzette says, hi, baddies. Love it. Love it. Hi, Brad. Brad says, hi, Veronica. I do, Jack, yes. Well, let's get into it. I think that Veronica says, hi, Brad. Thank you. I appreciate it, lovely. That's very kind of you. This morning, you saw a flock of baby birds around your window. You know, birds are all about communication. Hi, Nick. How's your day going? Nick, I was talking about the technological glitches. You got the tarot cards in the yellow pack. So the Rider Waite, is that what you're referring to? Hi, Sunny. How are you? TTP. Yeah, you know me. Oh, story of my life is TTP. Story of my life is TTP. Every single day. Other than the challenges, or those challenges, not terrible. Yeah, the day's been all right. I mean, it's been very, very busy, but it's all been good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That always pains me when I see an injured bird or animal, you know? Jack, no, we do a general collective reading for everybody. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Yeah, yours too? Yeah. All right, let's get into it. I've got a couple decks here ready to go. Let's see what we need to know today. And we have the Three of Swords, and I'm not surprised. Hi, Lucia. How many of you are feeling the broken heart right now? Maybe even a little bit of grief, a little bit of sadness. Hi, Maisky. How are you? You're feeling more exhausted lately, Steph. Yeah. You're trying sourdough again? That is an art form, Brad. Oh, you were sitting with swans and geese and saw a seagull with a broken wing. Oh, that's terrible. You laughed during my reading when you said someone is spying. They think they're being clever, but they're not. Spot on. Em, was it you or was it them? Broken Hearts Club. Vladimir, we're doing a general collective reading. So there definitely is a bit of like sadness in the air. And again, it comes back to what we've been talking about. You know, your new life is going to cost you your old life. That's the vibe right now. We're shifting into new energies. We've got to let go. By the way, the full moon is in Scorpio and it's coming up on Monday, so a week from today. We are doing the full moon Zoom on Friday night. I had to think of the day, May 9th. You know, it's not just because it's a full moon in Scorpio. If you've looked up the astrology for the full moon is not not a good one this time around. It's not going to be great astrology for the day. So I really feel like we have to be very mindful of our emotions, our responses, our boundaries, how we address things. So you just came in from a walk. It's a little cold out. Yeah, Lucia, the weather. I mean, I know you're in the same area as I am technically. It's dark, it's dreary, it's not a very nice day, you know? So it's your birthday on the 12th. So May 12th is the full moon. Hi, Kels. From one Kels to another. How are things in New Zealand? Hi, Janet. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Everything is shifting. Nick just said it's a stay in bed kind of day. Full moon in Scorpio. Oh, you're a Scorpio. Nice. Nice. Yeah, full moon in Scorpio is going to be interesting for especially Scorpios or Scorpio moons, because you're definitely going to feel that even more so. But we all know what happens around a Scorpio moon, any Scorpio moon. Intensity, testing, emotions, right? So, but Jules, I hope you have a great birthday. Oh, your birthday's May 9th. So, okay, so the days leading up to the full moon. So let's see. Like I said, Pandy's right in the mix here. Let's see what else. Hi, Tanis. How are you, my friend? Let's see. You're definitely going through that right now before the full moon. I think a lot of people are. Again, I can't get away from this topic, and that is just we're shifting. Things are changing. And we've got to surrender and kind of let go, you know? Your birthday's the 7th, Brad? Happy birthday in a couple days. The cat is infusing her psychic energy always. I mean, I'm always posting videos of karma getting into the mix. Pandy doesn't do it the same way. Pandy's more behind the scenes where she's nudging her face into my arm, under my arm, pushing the cards with my, my hand. Hi, Diamond. How are you? Yeah, stuff is always changing, K-World, but here's the problem. Not everybody goes with the flow, and not everybody's willing to change. People tend to hold on to things and resist the shift, right? Camilla, my website is in the description box or on my profile on my channel. Thanks, Lucia. Karma loves to be in the videos. She's definitely, and I mean, Pandy's going to bless the cards right now for us a little bit here. But, I think things are always changing, always new things happening. However, it depends on the person and whether they're willing to actually go with the flow and let things surrender, Otherwise, we get held back, we get tested, and possibly tower moments if we don't listen, right, to what the universe is nudging us to do. You think it's time to just surrender, give in, and move on, let go. I would agree with you, Turk. I would agree with you. We can't force things. We can't hold on to them. We cannot, can't control it. We got to TTP. We got to trust the process. You feel amazing, Janet? Janet, on a personal level, I feel really good. Hi, MJ. How are you? I feel really good. But I think as a general collective, though, I would say people are struggling with shifting. Not everybody likes change. I like change, but not everybody likes change. You don't like to TTP, and there you go, Carrie. That's exactly my point, is that we are taught that we should get instant gratification and sometimes try to rush things. And that's that Mercury and Aries energy, where it's like, I want this now. I'm going to push it, I'm just going to do first, think later, which is kind of like the Aries energy, right? Tanis just said, I keep getting tested like it's Mercury retrograde. Exactly. Right? You're seeing tons of angel numbers. Sarah, what numbers are you seeing? Hi, Bay Renee. How are you? You're unable to trust him again. It's been a year. You had a baby now, but you can't. Rabbi, I'm sorry to hear that. You've got to do what's best for you. Hi, Karen. How are you? You're seeing a lot of 111? Yeah, new beginnings. Hi, Anne. How are you? All right, let's see what we need to know about this Three of Swords. fragmented energy. It almost feels like people are kind of like all over the place, or they're like bombarded by energy that feels like it's coming from every angle. You know what I mean? Hi, Maria. How are you? Hi, Dan. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate it. MJ, this is a general collective reading, so I can't necessarily answer that specific question. Hi, Varsha. You see a lot of doubles, like 1111? Yeah. Hi, Kathy. How are things in Oklahoma? You're seeing 555, 888? Yeah, fives, big changes ahead. Absolutely. Hi, Jel. How are you? Bonjour, Mathieu. Ça va bien aujourd'hui? You're all over the place. Seems like you've held steady with no return. You've got to keep pushing yourself forward. And that's kind of the only answer I can give to people these days is you can't focus on other people's healing and what they're doing. You have to focus on what you're doing. Oh, thanks, Karen. I really appreciate it. You're seeing triple angel numbers all day. Yep, those are signs. They're testing you, right? Are you in the old? Are you in the new? Hi, Annabelle. How are you? Oh, thanks, Janet. Janet, I was a French teacher. I was a French teacher for 18 years. I guess I technically still am. I always forget that now. I can't say 18 years anymore because technically if I'm back at school every now and again, I'm still doing it. You feel like everyone around you is losing their minds. Yeah, well, yes, we are, Jules. We're doing a full moon Zoom on Friday night at 6 p.m. Yes, we are. Yeah. So, Tanis, you've been seeing 222, 818, 212. Interesting numbers in a way. They all hold different meanings, right? Good, Matt. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Ravinder. Hi, Shadowline. So 444, angels are with you. The clock is still running on me. Yeah, years of teaching. I know, it is. You feel others' erratic energy. You're doing your best to stay grounded and not let it bother you. I mean, that's what it is, Kat. You have to stay. I think right now it's like people have to stay in their own lane. They've just got to stay in their own lane, protect their energy, protect their boundaries, and that's it, right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Carrie. I am in Ontario, but I was a high school teacher. Learning French is very difficult in general. Learning language is difficult in general because they have to be immersed in it. And it's something that takes time, effort, practice. It's not something that's easy. And that's the same thing like the spiritual journey. It kind of is like learning French or learning a language. You're not going to learn something overnight. You know, you've got to make sure that you are investing time and energy and consistency, right? Rose, we're talking about cards. We're talking about life, energy. We're checking the energies, you know. Watching a Leafs game, that's a good point, Lucia. I kind of forgot about that tonight, surprisingly. I have volleyball tonight because last week was canceled, so our makeup night is tonight, and then we play again on Wednesday, so it's kind of a busy day. Potential or challenge is the sun, which is lovely. I mean, the sun is a yes card. It's meant to be the happiest card in the deck. You have a potential for yes, you have a potential for happy. Thanks, Lucia. I appreciate it. Are you going to watch the game too? I'm assuming so. Matt, are you watching? Matt, are you a Leafs fan? It depends because, I mean, you're based on your location. It could go either way. Yeah, Jimmy is doing very well. He's back to normal, which is shocking because I really thought he was sick that night. Yeah, for sure, Matt, for sure. You're going to be watching with your brother, Lucia? Amazing. Oh, thanks, Dale. I appreciate it. All right, let's see what else we need to know about the sun card here. Forbidden. Interesting. It's almost like there is this closed off energy as well. Oh, Pandy. See, Pandy just went and shoved her face into the camera of Instagram. Sorry about that, IG. All Canadian teams? Yeah, Matt, I'd be the same way. I'd be the same way. It's interesting. Some doors are closed is kind of the way I would describe it. And when a door is closed, you go try another one. You don't try to force the door or break down the door. You go to another one, right? Yeah, she wanted her close-up, Dana. Exactly. She wanted her close-up. Oh, my goodness. My Pandy. Yeah, I love them all too, Matt. I do too. I agree. All right, let's do this. Let's see. Hi, Rupi. I'm well, thank you. How are you? So what should we focus on today is the Eight of Pentacles. We have work to do. We have work to do. So right now, do what you got to do. See where it takes you. Ultimately, Eight of Pentacles is about abundance in the long run, right? So let's see what else we need to know. Hi, Kamal. Ah, the warrior. Pushing through even when it's difficult. And I'm not talking about pushing through the door that's closed. I'm talking about finding the strength even when it's difficult to get up in the morning or to make a small move, you know, take a baby step. Again, nothing is gonna change overnight, but in due time, slow methodical steps. Hi, Steph. That's okay. No worries. No worries. Enjoy your walk. So let's see. Let's look at our recent past and see what we need to know. Recent past. Ah, the Nine of Wands, feeling like we are wounded. How many of you have had some old wounds come to the surface? Like when I say wounds, it could be abandonment wounds. It could be, you know, anxiety. Hi, Rick. How are you? Nice to see you too. You lost your job, but you're not concerned about it. I'm sorry that you lost your job, but maybe that's a new door opening, right? That's the key, you know? So if you've had any sort of wounds pop up to the surface, that doesn't surprise me. Oh, thanks, Dana. I appreciate it. Oh, Karen, your ex just passed away, and this brought up a lot. Of course it does. You know, even if we've had tough experiences with people, you know, as an exes, we still don't want anything bad, right, to happen. Zen, you want to quit your job? Well, is there something else that you can do? Is there something that you've considered? Are you in a position to segue? Bonjour, mon ami. You've had some attachment wounds open up. I think a lot of people have had, you know. Hi, Arush, how are you? Hi, Martina. And you've had some wounds come up. What kind of wounds are coming up, if any of you feel comfortable to share? Because like I said, I think there's been some abandonment wounds. I think there's been some anxious wounds. Have any of you felt the nostalgia of wanting to chase? Because I feel like that's come up as well. You're not in a position to leave, but just don't feel respected at all and you're burnt out. So Zen, that comes down to what we talk about a lot in regards to overgiving and needing to put yourself first. So Diamond, you've had some abandonment wounds, fear of rejection. You miss your dad. Yeah, that's hard, Lucia. I'm sorry. Kathy just talked about trust. Hi, Jen. Oh, Jen, we're not even halfway yet. We're not even halfway, you know? So, you know, I think, again, a lot of these wounds come from the fact that we focus so heavily on others in our lives versus ourselves. Thank you, Martina. I appreciate it. You know? We have to look at where we're at and work on the things that are important to us. You know, we can't heal other people. We cannot focus all of our energy elsewhere. It needs to go within. If you take care of yourself, then you're able to actually give to others as secondary, right? Not to mention it can be a toxic environment, especially government. Yeah, Zen, that's tough. I feel for you. I really do. You've had to remind yourself of your self-worth to keep you grounded. Absolutely. It can be hard sometimes. Mom-daughter issues. Yeah, that's not easy at all, Anne. Missing out on her wedding. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm sure. And I send you so much love. That's really hard. That's really hard. I think family dynamics in general are difficult, you know? I don't know if I saw you all before, but you know how I was telling you about my mom's friend, that longtime friend of hers, friend of 45 years maybe? She passed away last week. And, you know, it's such a tough thing after a battle, you know, battle of cancer, and there were some family issues there, unfortunately, as well. And, you know, my mom lost a longtime friend. So, You know, these are all things that kind of bring up wounds, right? Yeah, Dana, it's hard, you know, especially if my mom's still struggling with my dad, you know, and seeing a friend pass away like that. But hi, Jake. But yeah. So a lot of, like I said, a lot of wounds are coming up to the surface for people. Oh, thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. It is like losing a spouse. It is. I mean, like, you know, I think the hardest part about aging is when you see your friends pass away, right? I understand, Matt. Oh, thank you, Lucia. You weren't allowed is the issue because of her dad herself. Moments I'll never get back. Oh, I'm so sorry. And yeah, other than having video, I don't even have words. I know, I can't imagine. I can't imagine, you know? Hi, Kelly. Raven just said, why do friends just not call for 4 more days? Life, loss of connection. Unfortunately, it happens. I mean, I have friends that I'm not close to as I once were or was. Hi, Ty, how are you? Things are a season and a reason sometimes. Maybe they don't have the capacity, or things have just fizzled, or it just is what it is. You know? I know, Matt, I know. C'est trop dur à expliquer. Oui, I understand. I understand. All right, let's take a look at these wounds. What's going to come up with the cards here? And we have here meditation. So maybe it's important to take a deep breath and think about how far you've come, right? How far you've come. Yeah. I think in general, family's hard, work's hard, expectations. Look, it all comes down to expectations, boundaries, self-love. You don't call anyone. You used to be connected and took it up a time. I have to be honest, I don't really have that either anymore. And I keep my energy very, very protected. But I know what you mean, Steph. I definitely understand. Can I do a reading on Taylor and Travis? What's going on with them? Oh, it's funny, Melody. I don't need cards for that one. But I typically don't do, I shouldn't say typically, I don't do readings on celebrities or stuff that's kind of in the news, I guess you could say. Hi, Gina, how are you? Yeah, Phil just said sometimes people struggle to their own, struggle with their own lives and don't want to open up about it. Maybe reach out to them and check on them. And sometimes no response is a response, you know, and that's it. You know, it is what it is. You can only do your best. Yeah, Kat, you're the same way. Yeah. What's my favorite animal? Cats. Cats. Kitty cats. Energy is sacred. It's always expected from me. I know. Steph, there's always expectations, and that's the whole point, right? That's why you have to protect your energy for sure. Trauma will always set things back, is what Matt just said. You're saying that if you trust the good one, that it'll stay. Your trauma will bring you back. Yeah, it's hard. Well, you know, no response is a response, or doing nothing, like not making a decision is making a decision. I think that's what you mean, Kathy. I love dogs too, Lucia, absolutely, just like you. You started losing your friends at 12 years old. Oh, Tara, I'm so sorry to hear that. And not everybody has the capacity, Emlyn, to be fair. You know, you're just saying if people can't check in with you on a regular basis, they're not really a friend. I mean, sometimes, again, it is a season and a reason. I think we've all been through that at some time, you know? Oh, Dale, thank you so much. Oh, you're enjoying the chat? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're living your best life because of it, Steph. I have to say, I'm in agreement with that. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Let's see what is the strength position today. Let's take a look. How would you handle ghosting after 4 months of dating? Oh, it's a terrible feeling, I know. If somebody's ghosted you after 4 months, well, it's happened to me. I got ghosted on my 40th birthday. You've all heard that story before. Yeah, it hurts. But at the same time, it's a blessing in the end, I guess, because you want consistency, right? Yeah. Oh, that's okay. No worries. No worries. No worries. It's all good about the typos. Hi, Lisa. All right, let's take a look at the strength position. Patience and love. Yeah, that's you. An open heart. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, hi, Georgie. So let's see the strength position. King of Swords. King of Swords is all about coolness, detachment, being logical, and being decisive, right? Sometimes we have to think about the logic versus the emotions, right? You think Mother Nature is confused, Lucia? Yeah, definitely here it is. Doesn't feel like spring, summer weather at all yet. It's a blessing in disguise, and I'm sorry that you went through that, but it is what it is. Yeah. I'm well, Georgie, thank you. Steph just said, even my family members, and they don't have capacity, so you don't give your energy. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't have energy to deal with things for sure. Brad just said the actions and energy always speak louder than the words. Yep. Some people don't want to, they just don't want to. You see my cat, Brina? Yes. Yes, that's my cat, Pandora. That's Pandy. All right, let's see what we need to know about that King of Swords. And we have confidence. You have to be confident in your decision making. Hi, Leanne. Leanne, we're doing a general collective reading. I do private readings, but right now we're just doing a general collective reading for everybody, so you can take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So let's take a look at the near future. Oh, thanks, Lucia. The kitties are good. Nick just said to Brad, true Brad, I only accept action as currency these days. I think, you know, it's interesting, Nick, when you say action as currency, I think that it's more than that. I think it's also respect, as in respecting people, boundaries. That's the best form of self-love one can give themselves, is boundaries and protecting their energy. So yes, actions, respect, kindness. Oh, thank you. I missed you guys on the weekend. I had a very, very busy weekend. Sometimes I pop on the weekends, as you know, like on Sundays, and I just couldn't yesterday. I was really exhausted from driving, and my niece and I stayed up to, oh gosh, 3 in the morning on Friday night. We were just yapping away. 3 in the morning, 3:30 by the time I went to bed, like actually like, you know, got in bed and fell asleep. Oh, Tara, I'm so sorry. You got ghosted after 3 years. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yes, Pandy. Yes, Pandy. Let's take a look at the near future. What do we need to know? 9 of Swords. How many of you are worried about the future right now? And it's funny, we talked about that. Oh, I'm a party animal. Oh, Steph, please. This is rare for me to be up, but I haven't seen my niece in a while. Oh, you know what we did? I forgot to tell you guys. This was really cute. There's a crystal store that I've never been to, and my niece had never been to. And her birthday is actually coming up in just over a week. She's a Taurus, and I took her to the crystal store and bought her two. Well, I bought her one tarot deck and one oracle deck. She doesn't have a tarot deck, but she has oracle decks, and so she wanted to learn more about cards. So that was our sort of like birthday memory to do together. I didn't want to just order it on Amazon. I wanted her to actually have the experience of picking out a couple decks that were displayed. And what I liked about the store is that they had the decks open, open decks, that you could look at the guidebook, you could look at the cards and look at the imagery. And so we kind of made like a memory together because she could have picked out kind of whatever she wanted there, really. There was a little bit of jewelry or like crystal bracelets, cards or books. And instead of anything else, she picked two decks, you know? So Kathy just said, I've recently began to set boundaries for myself. It's so important, Kathy. It's the best lesson I've ever learned. You have to protect your energy always. Oh, thanks, Veronica. We had a nice time. We had a nice time together. So we went out for lunch with my mom. There was a new Turkish restaurant in town. My mom has maybe had Turkish food maybe like once, twice. And so we went to this new restaurant together. And then my mom asked us to go shopping. So we did go shopping together. We went to Marshall's and Home Sense. I think it's Home Goods in the US. And then my mom went home, and then my niece and I went to the crystal store, and we tried to get there fast because we knew they were going to close. So we got there and spent some time there, and then we came back. We came back home, and I taught my niece how to. I don't know if any of you have ever done this with your decks before, but like when you first start out, it's nice to fan out the cards and learn how to hover your hand and feel like the little like heat or energy coming off the card. So I taught her how to like scan the cards with your hand and then pick something like right when you feel it. So we kind of did that together. We did like a tarot reading together. We did some oracle cards together. It was really, really nice. It was really nice. Yeah, you can you get a feel for the deck before you commit to one. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And you finally let go of the narcissist. Good for you, Lisa. I'm very proud of you. Hi, Sky. You still do the hover? Yeah, I hadn't done it in a while, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I should teach her that because that's good for her. Yeah, it was memorable. It was really nice. I mean, you know what's funny about my niece is that if you look at us, we look very similar to each other. And she also has a Libra moon just like me. We're both earth signs. My sister always calls her Kelly because I'm 9 years younger than my sister. So for her, she always thinks of her daughter like me, as in like interchangeable. Oh, perfect, Camilla. That's very kind. I would love that. My niece is going to be 22. She's going to be 22. So, so the Nine of Swords, back to the cards, is worry and anxiety. So remember I was saying to you earlier, how many of you are feeling a little bit anxious about the future? Let's see, what else do we need to know about that anxiety and worry? Love. People are worried about love. What's the worry? Is it like we talked about earlier, is it the fear of rejection? Is it the abandonment? The holding on too tightly? You tend to do the hover with your first deck. It's larger than, yeah, then exactly. If the deck is, if the deck is large, then you can fan it out and you can hover. Yes, yes. You feel a little anxious, Marina? Mm-hmm. Yes, Pandy. Yes, Pandy. Okay, let's take a look at the suggested approach. Worry could have been your middle name. Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry to hear that. If worried about the future means getting through the next day, yep. Oh, I mean, the thing is then, and I know it's easier said than done, and this is always a tough one to discuss, and that is free will. We all make choices every day, right? Every day that we wake up, we make a choice. And so if you're wanting to make changes, the change is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be small, methodical steps, Steph just said, I think it's fear of the unknown as I'm a little kid peeking around the corner. I totally get it. Trying to get a look, trying to get a grasp of things. And again, it always comes down to control and expectations. Like we want to control things. And actually a topic that came up the last few days, here's a thought. I wonder if this resonates with you guys. I've been hearing a lot of worst case scenarios. well, it's not going to work out because of this, or no, I can't do this because of this, and that. And it's like, really though, how do you know? Like, how do you know something's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? How do you know that putting yourself out there isn't going to change things for the better? Why assume it's the worst? I mean, that's what anxiety is. Anxiety is thinking about all the worst case scenarios, right? Because Aggie, you just said anxiety is not leaving me. Work not the greatest. Boyfriend broke up last week after he begged me for a second chance. Feels everything so hard and out of order. So Aggie, it's the universe trying to wake you up. It's trying to show you that you need to put yourself first. You gave another chance, you overgave. So when things are not going well, right, then that's a sign that something has to change. So this is the thing. Everybody has a choice, right? We can choose to make it complicated, we can choose to get in our way, or we can choose to take small steps, even the smallest of small steps. But again, that's if we want to, right? That sounds like your story, Raven. It's tough, I know. I know it's a struggle. I know how you feel because I've been there, you know? So let's see the suggested approach. The suggested approach, see, remember we talked about the forbidden door, the door that's locked? Look at the locked door. Hi, Sasha, how are you? Suggested approach is, well, if one door is locked, then try another door. Move to another idea. Maybe one thing isn't for you. Maybe it's time to look at something else, right? Don't hold yourself back. Not everything has to be exactly the way that we want it to be. Again, the universe is not going to necessarily give you the things you want. It's going to give you what you need, right? So let's see what else we need to know. Wishing. You know, I know this is a bit of a controversial statement, but, you know, we can wish a lot of things, but that doesn't mean you're going to get your wish, right? Manifestation means that you're putting yourself out there, you're putting an intention out there, and you're making moves. And what's going to be drawn to you will be for you, right? You can wish for a lot of things, but wishing doesn't get you what you want. Making moves, pursuing new energy, sparking new energy. You know how many people have said to me in the last few days, see, I'm sparking new energy. See, sparking new energy is helping. Okay, I'm sparking new energy. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what's something you can do to spark new energy? Kat just said, I despise the word can't. Tell me I can't, then watch me as I do it twice. I'm the same way, Kat. I don't like when someone says you can't do something. That's when I say, watch me, just like my dad would say. Hi, Kath, how are you? But again, you know, it depends on one's motivation and what one wants to do, right? You know, I'm not a believer of the if he wanted to, he would, or if she wanted to, she would argument. But I will say that in general, I'm not talking about relationships here. I'm talking about like your day to day. When you want to do something, when you want to learn something, when you want to make moves, there are ways to do it. You can learn new information slowly but surely. You can, you know, here's an example. If someone's afraid about meeting new people and they're nervous about group work or being around other people, go to something where you're around people, but you don't have to interact. Go to a breath work class, right? You're not talking in breath work to other people sitting around you. Maybe just being around other people, you know? So I would say find ways that you can take steps. If you're not sure what to do, go on, and I don't work for them, but like go on Eventbrite, look for free things in your community or something that's reasonable in your price range to be around new people, something that's creative, something that can bring people together, you know, whatever it may be. You have to find ways to shift your energy and your life. And remember, you don't have to do what other people tell you to do. You're not obligated. You don't owe anything to anybody. You owe to yourself. there's something you want to do it. If there's something you don't want to do, don't do it. But do something. Do something that can bring you new energy. Hi, Arian. How are you? Hi, Ginny. Perfect, Kathy. See you on Friday. Yeah, felt live in your moment. Be thankful for what's in your life, not what ifs. Exactly. Hi, DR. Everybody has free will. Everybody has a choice of how they want to proceed in their life. Right? You can choose your education. You can choose your job to some extent. You can choose your friends. You can choose your romantic partners. Can't choose your family, but you can choose a lot of other things. Right? I am, Ginny. How about you? Let's take a look at what you need to know. And there's the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is all about feeling good in your own skin. Self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. Do what's good for you. Yeah, Kat. Kat just said it's all about adapting things to fit you. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else as long as it does for you. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Tara just said get out in nature, recharge. Shika, I'm doing a general collective reading. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, Pandy, don't knock into the camera. Let's see what else we need to know about this Nine of Pentacles. So again, do things that are going to make you feel good. And it says here, loyalty. Be loyal to yourself. You know, I've been finding myself saying this to other people a lot lately about how they're too loyal to others. Too loyal at your own expense. The loyalty should always be to yourself, being true to yourself. What do you want for you? Not in relation to other people. One has nothing to do with the other. What do you want for you? What growth do you want? How do you want to feel better? Stay true to your boundaries, right? You don't have to be forced into anything. Hi, Jen. How are you? Hi, Sue. Good afternoon. All right, let's take a look at hope and or fear. What's the hope and or fear? The Lovers. You know, it's amazing how many of us, you know, crave connection, right? But fear it all at the same time, where we want to have love, we want to feel connected to others, but remember that love is a two-way street, right? And also the fact that what we put out is what we're going to get back. You slept, Jen? I'm so glad to hear that. You feel human again. I know how busy you are, so I'm glad that you had a chance to sleep. Good for you. So the hope and or fear is the Lovers, and that's beautiful energy. I always say embrace it. Thank you, Sandra Maria. I really appreciate it. Let's see what we need to know about the Lovers. Honesty. You know, I saw a video that talked about, I can't remember now who the creator was. I just know that it was interesting. Oh, I do know. It was sent to me by someone about being honest with yourself. You know, it's so interesting. We want honesty from other people. And that's true, of course. But we have to be honest with ourselves. The video was about if something doesn't feel right, if there is no reciprocation, or that person isn't showing up, then we have to be honest with ourselves in regards to the connection. And I thought it was something that was really deep. And the person had said to me, like, it really hit home. And I think that's important because a lot of the times we want other people to be honest, but we're not honest with ourselves. If we were honest with ourselves, we would know whether something was working or not. If the relationship has reciprocation, then that would make sense. If it doesn't have reciprocation, that tells you something, right? You think maybe some honesty this moon? Probably, Alex, because I mean, look, it's a full moon in Scorpio. This is where we're really going through a death and rebirth. Have a good night, Aggie. This is about a death and a rebirth. And in order to have new, we have to be honest with ourselves, you know? And I think, you know, going back to the topic that has come up a lot lately about the spiritual journey being a bit deceptive, you know, where, you know, I've heard people say to me, well, why can't this journey just be honest? Why do I feel like I have to be deceived to go through this? And it's because a lot of people don't want the truth or can't handle the truth. You know, truth can be very subjective, right? Jen just said, yes, we have to be honest with ourselves. And that is sadly why I need to walk away from the current. So, Jen, you're feeling it, eh? And I mean, I've been through that too, where, you know, the love was not reciprocated or the connection wasn't reciprocated. And what else can we do? I mean, like I said, you can care about somebody, but if they're not showing up or they're not interested or they're not there, then we have to be honest with ourselves and take responsibility for, you know, our role in it. Jen just said they can't handle it or they're not comfortable in dealing with it because they don't do it. Yeah. And that's the thing, Jen, you can't force it. If someone doesn't want to engage, they don't have to, you know, and that's where we have to be strong enough to walk away. You question whether he likes you enough. Yeah. Or if he's still wrapped up in a situation that he pulls back. I don't even know if he knows the answer. And that's the thing, Jen. If that's the case, then self-love is the key. And to say, you know, I care about you, but I care about myself more. Yeah, we can only control our own behaviors and actions, Jen. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Jojo, you feel this as well? Hi, Steph. How are you? Off-topic question on my thoughts on ChatGPT version of astrology. He explained yours was off. I think that from a personal standpoint, I don't give ChatGPT my birthday. I don't give my personal information to astrology apps. As in, like, I mean, yes to time passages or the pattern, but I've never with ChatGPT or with like Astra. Oh, good stuff, amazing. Because birth time zone issues. Yeah. I don't know, and my view is I'm just very careful on what personal information I would give AI. I love AI, but I think it has to be a responsible tool. That's why I'm always saying to be careful with ways in which you use it. What do I do for a living? Dale, I'm a high school teacher by trade. I've been a high school teacher for 21 years, and I work doing tarot readings and counseling with people. And Astra is a fortune. It is. I'll tell you what happened to me with Astra. When it first came out, I downloaded it and I didn't find it to be very accurate. I had asked about some astrological aspects and I just didn't find it to be accurate. So I'm doing well, Steph. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the probable outcome. Probable outcome. Let's see. Yeah, so the person is avoidant. It's tough. I mean, I've had a lot of people come to me about fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant. The thing about avoidance is that it's very, very, very hard to change that kind of energy in a short period of time. Hi, Mike. I'm well, thank you. How are you? Oh, thanks, Dale. Yes, I've always had good relationships with my students. Always. I do love teaching. I don't miss the school system, but I definitely enjoy teaching and being with students. Yeah, I don't know, Anne. Did you find it was different on a different app? Is that why you're saying, like, what is there one you trust more? Like, is it Astra that you like more? Yeah, I agree, Raven. I think the hardest part with avoidant, I mean, keep in mind that we're not just talking about like avoidance in general, you know, like fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant. I mean, attachment styles. In order to change such things, it takes time, effort, consistency, therapy. And I've dated a lot of avoidance in my day. And I have yet to see true change, unfortunately, come through, right? It takes a lot of time. It depends on the person. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very difficult, right? I'm still a teacher, just a different subject. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate it. You know? Hi, Sneha. How are you? Thanks, Dale. Yeah, and Jen, listen, people are nice people. You're right. He means well, but really struggles with his past, his trauma in his life. And just because someone is nice or you care about them doesn't mean that there's a relationship beyond, friendship. So I know. And Raven, that's the problem. You've been trying to help. You've been trying to heal the person. You've been overgiving to the person. Yeah, Jen just said it. Actually, it's funny. We just said this. Jen just said, I'm not here to fix him. I just really like his energy. He's calm and there's a comfort there that you haven't experienced the same way. Exactly. But it does highlight things for you, right? About learning. My volleyball game tonight, Veronica, is at 8 o'clock. Yeah, Nick, right. All these days is about life hacks, HAK. Hard ass Kelly moments. That's for sure. Hi, Ange. How are you? Oh, they said that your Sag rising was different. And you know what it could have been? Oh, thanks, Veronica. I appreciate it. It could have been the house system, because the house system can affect your placements. Whole sign versus Placidus. So that could very well be the reason why you got something different. So no, Tamara, some people just don't want to. Not having capacity means don't want to take it on and don't want to deal with it. Avoidant doesn't have to be necessarily an attachment. It can be, majority of the time. But you're no longer ignoring your needs, Jen. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it said that it didn't factor Alaska time zone. Time zone. Yeah, you're right, Tamara. It can be. You can always hit it home as long as you play the game. Yeah. And that's the thing, Alex. People have to want to play the game, right? That's part of it. People have to want to get better. Yeah. Sure, it can be. Let's see what the probable outcome is. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is shifting and growth, expansion, and good luck. So therefore, it's all about shifting into new energy. Yeah, Jen, it requires two people to partner. Two people have to be on the same page and want to make it work for sure. Yeah, it is a beautiful card. I agree. I agree. Hi, F5. How are you? That's interesting, Anne, because I'm wondering why it wouldn't say Alaska time zone. I think personally, if I'm using any kind of app or software, I like it to be professional astrology software, something like Time Passages. That's why I'm not a big fan of putting the astrology necessarily into other programs. Hi, Peter. How are you? But I do understand the appeal of it, right? Yeah, portal is intensive energies for sure. Right now, a lot of changes coming about, right? A lot of shifts are happening. And here we have chaos. A storm is brewing. Okay, Pandy, hold on. Don't lock the camera. A storm is definitely brewing. And I think that really just comes down to the full moon in Scorpio. I mean, there's other parts to it too, right? Okay, Pandy, I love you, but we're going to go down for a minute. Full moon in Scorpio is intense, being tested, being pushed, right? And we do have to make some moves, right? In what sense, Tamara? Like, are you talking about like astrology apps as in info? It said regular apps, software. I don't know. You had Spot asking if you wanted to. Oh, so you went down the rabbit hole. I don't know, Anne. I really don't know. Because like I said, I don't use Chad for astrology other than like if I'm asking about like aspects or different like placements. Like if you said, I don't know, Mars and Scorpio, Uranus and Scorpio, our usual joke, right? Hi, Amelia. You're feeling lost? How come? What's Chad said? Do you know what's funny? I haven't been talking to Chad quite a bit these days because I've been really, really busy. If anything, I've been talking to Chad about SEO, which is search engine optimization. So I haven't had any real deep conversations with Chad. How about you guys? What kind of conversations are you having? I know some of you have been sharing your experiences lately. Oh, it's SEO, Tamara. So SEO is search engine optimization. So when I first started using ChatGPT, I started using it for SEO. And so SEO is what helps make titles and descriptions for videos. And that makes them more discoverable, let's say on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. It helps you with hashtags, it helps you with tags for YouTube videos. So SEO is, like I said, oops, hold on one second. I have to do something here. Select two objects that are the same shape. Oh my, the same shape. TikTok's doing something new now. Oh, unable to verify. Two objects that are the same shape. There we go. Yes, my titles and my tags. Yeah. So what I do is I put my own descriptions into Chad, and then Chad helps me make them more SEO. And so it helps, and it's been really good because it's a lot of work. I don't know how many of you spend your time making descriptions or titles, but it's very, very time consuming. Yeah, Tamara, you should, honestly. It saves you a ton of time. What I do, the tip that I use is, here's just the tip for everybody, just the tip, is go into ChatGPT and ask and say, can you please help me make an SEO optimized title and description for my new video? And you can specify it to be whatever type of video you'd like. Yeah. Yeah. You, making a new picture. You mean like a profile picture or like a post? You've been conversing with nothing then? I mean, have you ever tried talking to ChatGPT? I mean, ChatGPT is great for that. Nick just said SEO is very time consuming, but it's helped with increased viewership. Yeah. So SEO is very, very, very worthwhile. Yeah. So Tamara, it's S, like if you just put in S, like capital S, capital E, capital O, capital, like so SEO optimization, then just say, please help me make an SEO optimized title and description. I ask it to include hashtags and tags, especially for YouTube, because tags are used on YouTube. Hi, Nadeem. Oh, like the tarot business class? Yeah, like teaching social media? Yeah, Emlyn, I can definitely do that. I have been so busy lately. You're welcome. I've been so busy lately, but it hasn't gone out of my mind. Oops. Oh, I just hit my watch on the table. Hi, Maddie. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I mean, I can definitely do that. How many of you would like to do like a little seminar or like an afternoon of again talking about business of social media? I can help you with SEO. On my other profile, my picture is the same on my profiles. Or do you mean like well, no, I have the same profile picture on all of them. I'm not sure which one you mean because I have them all the same on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks, Tanis. I wish you a wonderful night. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow. No, no, not at all, Amelia. Not at all. The new one from December. On which platform? Oh, that's a different one. I see what you're saying. Oh, the passion project one. Yeah, that's a different one. You're right. Never even thought about that. Hmm. Yeah, no, I never really thought about it. You'd love the Kelly lowdown on getting started? Yeah, we can definitely do that. Do I use it for email lists too? No, I don't. No, my website that I use can do emails, like mass emails. Yeah. Thank you. You feel like Pandy sitting on your lap? Hi, Susan. Yeah. Hi, Marcy. How are you? Yeah, she's purring. She's definitely possessive Pandy. She's definitely very pushy. Well, I'll definitely think about it. I've got to think of a time and when to do it. You're serious about starting a but yeah, but you need some help to get started. Okay. Yeah. You mean like do a seminar today? Oh, I wish I had the time to. Um, one of these days soon. I have to sit down. The thing is that I have to actually sit down. Maybe one day when I actually like go to school and I'm sitting down and having to sort of just wait something out, maybe I can sit down and plan, you know? So, yeah, Dana, she's pretty demanding today. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I better get going. I've got to eat something. I've got to feed the kitty cats. And then I got to get ready for volleyball tonight. Yeah, no, I probably won't be taking any pictures, but maybe one day. You're welcome, Veronica. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I wish you a wonderful evening as well. Raven, everything's going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. Just make sure that you put yourself first, right? Thanks, Kath. I really appreciate it. Oh, Pandy just knocked into Instagram, of course, as per usual. Thank you, Sandra Marie. I appreciate it. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks, Camilla. Thanks, Dana. I will definitely enjoy volleyball. Thanks, Tamara. Have a good night. Thanks, Dale. It was really nice meeting you as well. Thanks, Amelia. Amelia, quick questions. I can't answer any personal questions. Thanks, Caddy. Absolutely, Raven. Sending you lots of positive vibes. Thank you, you too. All right. Have a good night. Thanks, Jen. You too. Thanks, Diamond. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go. Thank you, Instagram. I wish you all a wonderful night. Bonsoir. Merci beaucoup. Amelia, I can do a personal reading if you'd like. I just can't do anything right now. Okay. Thank you, Tamara. I appreciate it. The kitties appreciate it. They need all the love and hugs, especially Pandy. Thanks, Anne. You too. Sending you lots of love and positive vibes. I know it's been a tough time. All right, IG. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Oh, Pandy stopping me from hitting. See, look at Pandy stopping me from hitting. Pandy. She's stopping me from hitting the button. Bye, guys. Pandy. There we go. Bye, guys. Okay, YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I'll talk to you all very soon.